what's going on, man? We are live.
Am I muted? No, I'm not.
You're
What's
good,
going
man.
on, Devin?
Not much, man. Hearing about this news about Halo and key features and whatnot, man. Ready to talk about it.
All right. So, if anybody's listening, today we received an update or video from 343 Halo itself about the progress of multiplayer and what's going on with the campaign, things like that. Multiplayer side, it looks good. They're still working on it. I have no complaints on that part. But then they said something that it was like concerning at the moment when I read it before. When I read it first before watching the video, and
Right.
of course, every single outlet out there and everybody just Halo needs to be delayed and all that shit. So I'm like, I started reading what's going on, and we got the news that co-op and Forge were not going to be in the game at launch. Now, Forge, I could set that aside a little bit, but co-op is kind of like, to me, is like, why? It's a feature. It's a type of it's always been there on Halo, right? So not having that there makes you kind of go crazy in your mind, start to think what have they been doing for the past 6 years? Why can't this be in the game? And then all the questions start jumping in, like why this is not there, why is this, why is that, where is this? And the first thing that comes up in your mind that 343 is not doing his job, or that there's something wrong with the game, yada yada yada, a whole bunch of bullshit. So
Right. Exactly. Like, what have they been doing the whole time?
exactly, it's been
In the
six
first
years.
thought. You know what I mean?
Exactly, that's the first thought that comes into your mind. I'm not saying that's not my thought right now, but all I'm saying is when I read it first, I was pissed as fuck. Now that I just saw the whole video that is like 28 minutes, I'm not that intense on it, but still I'm a bit like how do you say it? I'm kind of split on this. I'm kind of like, is delaying or not launching with co-op and other features saving Halo, or is it making it worse at launch? I don't want to talk about fucking The Last of Us or any other game. Sorry for the background. I don't want to talk about Halo, any other fucking game. If they want to come out incomplete, or if they want to come without a multiplayer mode or whatever, that's their problem. To me, Halo is more important than that. To me, Halo has to be the complete experience. We're talking about 20-year franchise, the flagship of Xbox. We're talking about one of the pioneers of first-person shooters, making it a viable a genre of games for the consoles. We're talking about an iconic character like Master Chief, and we're talking about one of the games that stopped the movie industry and dropped it for 20%, and they were complaining about video games about that shit. We're talking about this big about Halo. So before I go in, how
Hmm.
did you find out about this news, and what was your first thoughts about it?
Me personally, I found out on Twitter. I mean, I looked and I seen that I they're launching without co-op was the biggest thing for me. When has that's never happened, and that's one of the key features in Halo. Like, play through the campaign with your friends. Up to 4 friends. It's always been that way. So them launching without that pissed me off. You know what I mean? Like that's always just been like a main feature for Halo. Go through the campaign, like these amazing campaigns with your friends. Forge, I'm not really upset about that. Like, I heard that this is gonna be like one of the biggest, like if not the biggest, probably Forge modes they've ever had. So that I can wait for that. But the fact that you can't play like the campaign is done. They played through the campaign multiple times. So I don't understand why they can't. I think that it has something to do with the code, like the coding. It might break if they try to add co-op into that or something like that. It has to be, right?
I'm not gonna pretend to be a developer, but there's a lot devices on this game. We have talking about Xbox One, Xbox Series. We're talking about PC. We're talking about fucking cloud. So there's a lot of devices going on in this. So maybe that's producing some kind of trouble in order to produce the co-op experience that they want. I don't know what's going on. But at the same time, you start thinking, all right, we heard the rumors, or maybe it's true, maybe it's not, I don't know, that they started making Halo Infinite with Unreal Engine, right? Unreal Engine 4 or 5, whatever it was.
Right. It
And then
was
you start
something
hearing
like
that the ambitions of the game wasn't working well with Unreal, which we know Unreal is not really made for open world games. Fine, I get it. So then they jumped into Slip Space Engine. How many years after that? I don't know how many years. So we know clearly that Halo Infinite was not being made on Slip Space Engine for 6 years. We know that,
it's been
right?
about like 2.5 years.
That's
They
the
said,
thing.
yeah,
No, they haven't said it, but in my estimation now, and I don't think Halo has been developed that long with a Slip Space Engine. Maybe they had the story already. Maybe they already had what the pinpoints and what they wanted to do with multiplayer, but the engine itself they didn't have it. So once they have Slip Space, which Slip Space was being built at the same time as creating the game, they encountered certain issues. Plus, COVID happened, and that shit, you know how the world that shit changed the world entirely. But at the same time, people, I'm trying to understand the situation. I'm really trying. But looking at the back record of 343, with almost the same thing with split screen on Halo 5, because remember, Halo 5 does not have split screen co op in that
right.
game. So it's like every time they make a new game, they are cutting out shit. For some no reason they're cutting out shit. If I'm not remembering correctly, maybe not. They cut
I,
out Forge from Halo 4 at the beginning. And then on Halo 5 they cut out fucking split screen. Now in this one they're cutting out co-op and Forge at the same time. But the weird part is multiplayer does have split screen multiplayer on the multiplayer because he said it. On the multiplayer side, they will have it, but on the campaign, they won't have co-op day one.
Yeah,
So it makes you. That's Dirt. Hey, what's up, Dirt?
it was up.
So it makes you pull back a little bit on 343. It makes you pull out like, okay, I can understand why, but at the same time, I can't understand why. You know what I'm saying? It's been 6 years. It's been 6 years of this, and I think that Halo is one of those franchise that you cannot do it dirty like that. It must be a complete experience either way. Period. This is not The Last of Us. You're not gonna give a fuck. This is not Sony that or whatever other franchise they want to throw a game incomplete that they will patch it later, that will do a season later. No, I don't care about that. This is fucking Halo. To me, Halo is more important than that. And not having those features they want that we grew up with, that we think it should be there always, and not having that there is a little bit of a punch in the gut. It's weird. And I'm trying to understand. I really am. I know COVID was bad. I'm a testimony of fucking COVID. But I'm really
right.
trying to understand
See,
what
that's the
are they
thing.
doing. Go ahead,
See, that's the thing, though, bro. Don't try to understand it. It's just reality, right? Like I was taught to always, when you critique something, start off with something positive, and I'm going to start off with something positive that I appreciate the transparency, right? Because they could have waited 2 weeks before the game dropped. You know what? We're not going to have co-op at launch. I
Absolutely.
appreciate the
Yeah.
transparency. Um, I'm not going to sit up here and try to figure out what the hell is going on. Obviously, this was a rough development for 343 with Halo Infinite. It was rough. It was rough, and
It's so
COVID
rough.
didn't help it. So I'm not making excuses. No, we're all disappointed that the co-op won't be there. Excuse me, at launch. It's gonna what they say, take 2 months or something like that. Okay, I appreciate the transparency. It won't be there, but it'll be there in a few months. Thanks for letting us know that. That doesn't really stop the disappointment, but at least they're telling us that, right?
Yes.
So,
Right.
so like I said, this has been a very difficult development cycle from the outside looking in. It's been 6 years. They switched engines in the middle. They not only did they switch engines, Joe Ansel, they switched engines and started developing another engine while they were still working on the game. If you heard stories like that in the past, it was always a shit show. when they switch engines mid development, and they had to build slip space engine while doing this. So at the end of the day, this past E3, the gameplay looked solid. The multiplayer looked amazing. So I still believe Halo Infinite is going to be a damn good game. Yes, am I a little disappointed about the co-op? Yes, I am. Well,
Hmm.
and I'm not really disappointed for myself because I don't really play co-op like that. I'm disappointed for the other folks that play co-op like Devin and some other guys I seen on Twitter. They're upset about it. They're upset, and I feel them. Now Forge, I don't give a shit about Forge, but there's some people
Right.
that's upset about Forge also. So
Yeah,
I understand.
I used to use Forge a lot on Halo Reach, like
Yeah,
way too much. Like,
yeah, but I understand it, man. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
I have to say that like out of all the features to be cut from launch, like these these are probably like the less angering to me.
yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
Like, I can still play the campaign
right,
solo.
right.
I can go through the whole campaign and beat the game. And I can play multiplayer. No problem. So like if they cut like say if they cut the whole campaign, delayed the campaign, that would be much worse.
Hell yeah. Oh hell
That
yeah.
would be way worse, or like drop multiplayer and then drop campaign,
But
or
here's the
vice
thing.
versa.
Here's the thing that somebody was saying on Twitter. They're like, this is like breadcrumbs, right? They're like, we're delaying this. We can't launch with this. What if,
Right.
like, in a few weeks, they're like, yeah, we're still encountering problems. Maybe they'll delay the campaign again because
They
this could
won't.
be like softening a little bit the blow before, because now everybody's talking about there's something maybe wrong with Halo right now. Like officially now people are really running with Halo. There must be something wrong with Halo because they cannot get it right.
Mm.
And maybe using this excuse is like, hey, we might need to delay the game a few more months or maybe until next year. So my thing is, do you guys think not having these two features in the game is justify enough to delay the game entirely or not?
I
Or
don't
at
think
least,
so.
or throw it like separately, like they plan apparently to do some point, throw the multiplayer first, then the campaign.
Yeah. I heard that was a real plan that they were going to do that. And that would have been a massive L in my opinion, because Halo, that's what Halo is. But I'm gonna point out to what Devin said. These features, especially co-op, is huge. Now, it's not like it's not coming at all. It's just a little delayed. I will prefer them to delay the co-op or Forge or whatever they have to delay instead of delaying the damn game again or delaying the campaign or whatever. So I really do feel that way. Like what Devin said, I agree with you there, bro.
I yeah, like I said before, I'd rather them delay these features than delay the whole campaign or multiplayer. I like that they're putting out the game. I like that they're telling us this now, because like Dirt said, if they, or if, like you guys said, if they told us this like a week before launch, people would lose their minds and it would blow out of proportion. I feel like it's good that they're being transparent, because if there's anything wrong with it, we'll know before launch. And if they have to delay it, delay any part of the game campaign, I'm sure it would be just campaign, because the multiplayer looked solid in the tech test. So I'm pretty sure that'll be out at
I
launch.
mean, in that part, they did specify that multiplayer that their test that they made was a success. They had all the feedback that they needed. They saw what happened, and to them, it was a success. But they still have under wraps, under this hush hush thing, the campaign. The campaign is the only part of the game that normally you see the most, but now it's backwards. We're not only seeing the multiplayer, but we're not seeing enough of the campaign. So we don't know really what's going on with the campaign.
Well, they never really tech test the campaign
No, no, I'm not
though.
saying they tend to tech, but at this point we have seen more trailers, or
Yeah.
we've seen
Maybe we'll
marketing
see something
campaign.
Tuesday though, Joe. Maybe we see something
That's
Tuesday
true.
though. You
That's
know?
Gamescom.
Yeah.
I feel like we've only seen one campaign or one trailer for the multiplayer though.
Yeah, we have. But we've actually played, the flight. So
Yeah,
hey, which one of y'all dogs is that?
it's mine. I have a husky, unfortunately.
Uh,
So, other than
But
that, what do you think about the backlash online right now? Is it out of
oh, let me
proportion?
Oh, hold on. Let me speak on that one. Let me talk about the backlash on that. Excuse me, Devin, Hyperfane. Do you mind if I swear on your show?
By all means, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, sir. Because I know you're WBG, but I don't really know how you do things. So let me say this. My Xbox brothers, kudos to you for telling everybody how you feel about it. A lot of Xbox fans are disappointed with this news, and I've seen it, a lot of people seen it, and I appreciate that. Guys being honest, meaning these Xbox guys isn't out here capping, like praising everything the Xbox does, like some other people out there. Speaking of the other people, they're at it again, having these Twitter spaces, talking about Halo, talking about Xbox, talking about Game Pass. They're doing it again. This is their new forum. Twitter spaces. I guess it's convenient for them. Ponies just join these Twitter spaces and they talk amongst each other. That's cool, man. But I heard it was one earlier that was talking about the whole Skyrim incident. They muted my boy Noah.
Oh man, they muted him, yo.
They muted him. So I'm like, damn, why they mute my boy Noah? No, so these guys, they don't give a shit. They're talking. Halo don't have a campaign. Oh, delay the game. Delay it. Shut y'all asses up. Because y'all all full of shit. Y'all was the same dudes, had no problem with Naughty Dog not having factions in The Last of Us. Well, The Last of Us is more about single-player game. Factions doesn't matter. What is Halo really known for? Right? Multiplayer and campaign.
Right.
Co-op is something that people do, but there's people say, man, I'm going to buy Halo just for the co-op. No. The multiplayer and the campaign will be there, but you same guys that's talking about delay the game is shit, overlooked Naughty Dog totally removing the damn multiplayer. It's been a year. They still ain't said shit about it. So y'all need to chill, fam, with this fake caring, this fake concern. It's all fake bullshit. Kudos to my Xbox brothers for being real. That's the difference between ponies and Xbox guys. When Xbox tried to pull that shit with Xbox Live, Xbox guys called their asses out. They called their asses out. When Jim Ryan said we believe in generations and then 6 months later switch it completely, PlayStation guys said, oh, well, we do have Ratchet & Clank. We do have Demon Souls. Those are next gen only. That's the difference between Xbox guys and PlayStation guys. I'm not saying there are cappers on either side. Of course, there's always blind fanboys everywhere. But you guys know what I'm saying. Yes, it's disappointing we don't have co-op at launch. It is. It really is. Because Sean was talking about this shit the other day. Duts, I'm going to get Halo. Like, we get Halo, Duts. We're going to play co-op. Duts, it's going to be great, bro. So, yeah, it's disappointing. But they're being transparent with us. All right?
I appreciate them, like, letting us know what's going on, though. At the end of the day.
Yep. Agreed.
I appreciate that transparency and everything. But why does 343 always have these troubles? Why is Halo lately not having the most smoothest of development?
Well, I would imagine, like,
I understand COVID. But
go ahead, Dirt.
Well,
go ahead, Dirt. I had something from work.
Don't know. I mean, I don't know. We obviously don't know. We don't work there. But, I mean, I thought Halo 4 went smooth for them. I know you said they took out something, but I thought the game itself was pretty good. The multiplayer, they made some bad decisions with the multiplayer. But Halo 5 multiplayer was smooth. The campaign, they made some bad decisions with the campaign, like not having Master Chief in the bits more. But, I mean, you know, like I said, this game has had its difficulties, obviously. Yes, it has, man. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I can't fanboy or cap for that because it has had its difficulties. And last year in 2020, they got called out for it by everybody, including us. You remember that shit with Sean?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, I was
I
like,
don't know,
yeah.
dude.
I was like, hey, man, Halo didn't look that good.
They need to delay Halo, dude.
They need to delay Halo, dude. I don't know, dude. Everybody called out Halo Infinite gameplay last year. Xbox guys included. We called that shit out. Said, yo, that looked rough around the edges. All of the biggest Xbox guys, these ponies say, oh, they be capping. I remember Dealer and Rand coming on our show, WBG, saying that shit looked trash. Do you guys remember that? Because I do.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember Tim Dog, Cole Eastwood, these guys, they all said that shit looked a little trash. Yo, what is 343 doing? That's the difference. They call that shit out. Xbox guys call that shit out. Most Xbox guys, because there's always blind fanboys, like I said before. Call that shit out, man. Pony so fake. Oh, Skyrim.
That false hope shit. You know what I mean?
Not the Skyrim shit.
So,
now they talking about some.
Skyrim.
Is that a black guy to Game Pass? Are you kidding me? Y'all fuckers said support the developers. Right.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. That thing of Skyrim is ridiculous. And today, because I went to the spaces a few times just to listen, and whoever had a different kind of opinion or actually showing them facts, because there was, let's be honest, the whole thing about Skyrim is a bit messy, and there's a lot of people confused about it. But if you didn't agree with them, they were just muting you or blocking you and kicking you out the spaces, which is hilarious to me. So it's like, what the fuck? You can't take it?
You can say names. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck right now about that. My point is, fuck the ponies right now. Like, for real. I hate it.
Fuck them. Hey, this whole who gives a fuck? The game came out on 360. I don't care. This game's releasing for like the 5th time.
It's ridiculous.
They're just using it as a narrative.
I want to ask this. Are we overblowing the Skyrim situation and the Halo situation right now? Is it really that concerning, or it's just nah, man? Let it go.
The Halo one is kind of concerning. The Skyrim one is irrelevant. That game came out like 5 times.
I wouldn't say concerning with the Halo thing. I would say disappointing.
It's more important, I would say. Like the co-op at least. The Forge, I don't give a fuck, honestly. Like I said before, that Forge is going to be bigger than any Halo game before it had. So if they need a little extra time to work with it, then so be it. But the co-op shit should be in there. But if it launches without it, so fucking be it. I don't care. I just want to play the game. Well, that's how I feel about it, man.
Having Halo as a live service, because now they're calling, not that calling. We know that, but Halo on the video they're actually calling it now an official live service game. Is this having Halo as a live service game helps Halo as a franchise or hurts them? Because now people are gonna say, hey, you don't need to finish whatever you're trying to do. You can patch it later, and you know how people has thoughts about that.
No, it's fine, man. I mean,
I think it's kind of cool, actually. The fact that, Sea of Thieves started out basically empty. I know Halo. Hold on. Let me finish. It started out empty, but once they started throwing out the updates, it started moving. Like everybody.
But is it an excuse to throw an empty game?
Halo won't be empty. Halo won't be like Sea of Thieves in the beginning. Halo will be. It has a full-fledged campaign. My thing is the live as a service type game. That I'm pretty sure that means they're going to be adding on future campaigns, which I like the idea of that.
Yeah, I guess that'd be cool. Just like man, look, bro, look.
Calm down. That's what you're telling me, Joe. Calm down, bro.
Yeah, just calm your ass down, man.
Go ahead, Joey. I mean, if you want to go, fucking talk. Tell us how you feel.
If you would have told me like 20 minutes ago to talk, I'd have been like busting. I was busting everybody's ass right now. I would have been killing people. But after I saw the video and I started seeing other opinions online, and I basically goddamn. I basically took a deep breath and started looking at the situation. I'm like, all right, I'm overreacting a little bit,
Listen,
but
I'm going
I'm
to
still
tell
disappointed.
you. I'm just going to tell you, yes, I'm disappointed too. Most Xbox guys are disappointed, but I'm going to tell you where the overreaction is coming from. It's coming from the ponies. They're looking for anything. They be getting their legs stumped in lately, and they're looking for anything to come back at Xbox. Just so happened today, there was 2 things where they could talk shit about, and they have. That's all it is, man. That's all.
Fruit, the apples, they don't explode.
Yeah, man. That's so they've been getting their legs stumped in lately, and now they found something to brag about.
So you're telling me the ponies made me rage? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm saying
it has nothing to do with
those are
them,
the people I
honestly.
saw overreacting.
Because I read everything on Twitter first before watching the video, and I think that's a big difference.
You're not mad at the ponies. You're mad at the fact that this is happening, but it's kind of out of our control. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there had to have been some type of problem with the development, or they're having some type of issue adding these features in. That's probably why they're delaying the features. And we don't know why that is, why they're having a problem adding them in. So maybe if we knew that, we'd have a better insight.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, bro, no co-op at launch is disappointing. But The Last of Us still ain't got
True.
that multiplayer. They still ain't talking about that shit.
That shit ain't coming. That
Fuck out here.
it'll probably come for PS5 for like $30, $40.
No. That shit gonna be director's cut, $70. They're gonna have the game. They're gonna up the resolution
Oh damn!
and put that shit in there. $70.
The sad part is you're probably right about that. They're gonna remaster the game, and it's gonna have multiplayer in it that time. $70.
Which game? Sorry.
The Last of Us Part 2 with multiplayer.
Definitely, we're getting a fucking director's cut with multiplayer in it.
Yeah.
Now that's clearly the plan. And after watching what they did with Death Stranding and all what they're doing to Ghost of Tsushima, that's clearly a fucking plan.
That Ghost of
repackage the
Tsushima
game,
shit.
repackage the game with some DLC with some updates, and repackage and resell the game. I'm not saying it's a dumb plan because people are clearly buying it, but is it a fair plan? Is it fair to do that to your consumers? I don't know. That's the part that I really don't know.
They don't care. They want their pockets ripped, man. They say, "Oh, Sony put out something new that's not new. Take my money." I'm not gonna pocket watch for no pony. If you want to get ripped off, go ahead. That's what I say. I'm not gonna buy that shit again. I'm not even saying it's a bad game. It's not. But the fact that they're doing this is bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
We got another one, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Spade, what's going on, brother?
Hey, you guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
You sound like you should be a radio host.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well,
Loud and clear.
I appreciate you guys saying that. I'm using one of the good mics that I use for work, so
Yeah, don't be
hopefully
like
the mic
Arby,
quality
don't.
should be real good.
So, hey, bro, what do
yeah,
you
guys.
think about this Halo? What do you think about this? What do you think? It's overreacting? Is Halo's in a bad space? What do you think? What's going on?
Nah, I don't think it's so. I feel like there's a little bit of overreaction going on, but at the same time, you guys got to realize, shout out Johan talking about Halo and giving 343 a hard time. Like,
Did I cut out? What?
It cut out.
right? Like, there's all of
We're
these
back.
things that you can attribute to like whatever, to COVID or whatever, but there's just too many things that seem to be the problem, right? So something's going on like 100%. Like, you can only defend it so much, but at the same time, like, if they had just put together the co-op and whatever, leave Forge for later, it would have been a lot better. But I think yeah, some of the reactions are justified. That's what I think. That makes sense?
I feel like Forge can wait, like you said. Forge can wait, but like the fact that co-op ain't going to be there at launch is disappointing for me. Like I'm more disappointed. I'm only disappointed about that. Forge, I really don't mess with that, but I'm sure there's a lot of players that do like that feature. So all the disappointment is justified unless it's false hope. You know what I mean? You got a lot of false hope Sony fans or people that aren't even gonna buy or play the game that are saying, "Oh my God, look at this! You know, why are they so bad?" Blah blah. Like
Yeah,
motherfucker, you're not even gonna buy the
this is kind
game.
of like, I think this is kind of like payback, you know, because they saw how when Horizon got delayed, everybody was dunking on them. I mean, they started it, to be fair, but now you're gonna see them sort of spread this false narrative that, oh, Halo is over, or this is like the worst thing in the world. But I don't think they can delay the game anymore. And I think that they're going to go ahead and do these plans despite whatever might come out. Maybe they might reduce the time that it takes for co-op to come out. You might see something happen. I don't know. Maybe they'll address it and say, you know, they might apologize and say, you know what, we'll try and get it out earlier or something, which would be the best case scenario. But they can't.
Right.
They can't delay it anymore.
So far, they talked about the roadmap, and they said, if I'm not mistaken, in the second season they'll try to drop Forge, but they didn't. I didn't hear about the co-op, so it could be on the third season, maybe. I'm not really sure.
No, the co-op was first season. So what they're
First year
looking
they
to
say
do is
co-op,
they're looking to hit They're looking to hit Q3, basically. So at the start of the year. So they launch sometime within the next couple months, and then they go ahead and put it somewhere between Jan and Feb. I'm just spitballing. I'm not 100%. I don't work at 343, but yeah, that's what I would assume, that they probably want to try to get it out a few months after launch. So 3 months is what they specified. So let's just go with that, I think. And that's not too bad, but I saw a lot of people comparing this with like Last of Us and stuff. It's not even the same thing. It's just because so many people are accustomed to Halo having like a co-op campaign, that now you've set that expectation. So when people go in for the review, you know, it's going to be like big websites. It's going to be Halo fans, right? So they're going to be looking out for that, and they're going to say, oh, it's a shame that the co-op is not included. So my point is, yeah, there's kind of like an overreaction, but this is going to hurt a little bit of what they're saying. Maybe if they set the expectations right and say, you know what, we'll try and get it done sooner, maybe that could kind of dampen the blow. But yeah, it's
Right.
going to be a little bit ugly for sure.
How much of a dent you think this is going to make on Halo then, like on reviews? Because now all reviewers are going to look and they're going to complain about that, like 100%.
1 point. It's going to
So-
take off 1 point.
It
So
shouldn't
if
be
you're
that
looking
big
at
of a
reviews
deal.
out of
Like,
10,
What about Forge?
Forge is not going to matter, because Forge is a big deal, but 343 kind of already established that, right? But with 5, Forge didn't come out to like, I think 6 months later. I could be wrong, but it seemed like it came out way after, right? So even though Forge is important, I think a lot more people just care about playing the campaign co-op. So I don't think Forge is going to affect the review scores. But look, I've seen a lot of embargoes, and I've seen a lot of journalists. I used to have one-to-ones with and these guys are they're like sharks, man. Like if they
you're cutting out a little bit.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Can't hear him.
Not a little bit, a lot.
So my concern, and I hope I'm wrong, but my concern is they're going to look at that and they're going to be like, okay, well, you know what? Halo could have been perfect, but look, there was a year delay, and that should have solved everything, but it didn't. So they might take a point off. So you're looking at, if 343 delivers like a 10 out of 10, Halo's back to its roots. It's a great game. But at the same time, they're going to be like, okay, well, but we didn't get co-op, so a lot of fans that love that is not there. So we'll take a point off. So if Halo does like 8s and 9s, I think that would be a fair sort of thing. From what I hear, the campaign's going to be great, so maybe this pays off. But it's very unfortunate, man. I was super disappointed. And yeah, I hope that they put out like some sort of community response, you know?
I mean, you got a good point on that one, but yeah. I think, because now that I'm watching the chat, because I didn't even know people were watching us. Shout out to everybody on the chat. I think one of the things I wanted to do with Halo Infinite so much was actually play with you guys in WBG and whoever was in the community day one. I actually wanted to play this on Legendary like day one, and now we can't. And that's like, fuck. So, yeah, it's a bit overblown. The ponies are running with it. That's unfortunate. They're making spades. They're making their little AAA, AA, whatever meetings they're making, and it's overblown. But
Hey,
it just takes a little bit of more confidence of 343. Like again, 343 again, or something. Little things are building up, and sometimes it's hard to defend them. Sometimes it's really hard to defend them. So
Yeah, and you know, like they haven't really had a bad step with me. Like I've loved their campaigns. Even Halo 5, I loved it almost till the end. It had a lot of missteps, but I still really liked it overall. And now I just look at it and I think that every time they screw up or they make like a sort of lapse of judgment, what happens is people lose just a little more faith. And this is going to be, I think, they're going to need to shake things up, and they're going to need to put out like more posts and say, you know what, we're going to make those changes. Probably they'll have to move some people around. I don't know what decisions those teams make. I'm sure there's a lot more going on that we don't understand. Maybe they had issues and problems that there's 1,000 challenges that happen in game development. So we can't always judge and say, oh, 343 is incompetent, or they're not good enough or whatever. It's just it comes down to mismanagement, right? So probably something needs to be reorganized at that studio. It's just what I'm thinking. But this is my personal opinion. It's not my professional opinion or anything like that.
no, it's actually as a valid opinion, because at the end of the day, we always boil these things down to management. Like something is wrong with management, and I don't want to point fingers, but the word that is always coming around when Halo something's wrong with Halo, which is Bonnie. So we don't know if she's like one of the main reasons why Halo hasn't been having this smooth decision making in order to develop the game. But fuck my mic. Sorry.
So look, let me just kind of go back and explain a little bit of what I've heard behind the scenes. One of the biggest problems that the game went through, and you guys may have heard some of this, but one of the biggest things was they were starting from scratch with the new engine. So they had to start all over, and kind of, it's like they aimed from the start to kind of really take it to the next level. But I think because they're still developing on the last gen consoles and they wanted to be able to get it done by that time, plus they were developing the engine to try to bring it up to speed, I think there were a lot of problems because of that. Plus, on top of that, COVID really, look, you guys, I don't know how much people understand about this, but most game development just stopped because of COVID. Like people were not able to be in the same room and do these things. It
Right.
slows down things by like 10 times. It's insane how, like, I'll just give you guys an example. The way that I used to communicate with teams that I manage, right? It's a nightmare. Things are so different now, like over the past couple of years. And certain companies, the way that they restrict like just because of safety and stuff it's crazy. Some companies, they don't care, but yeah, a lot of bigger companies, they're super careful, right? So I think what happened here is just a multitude of factors that led to this sort of thing. And maybe this is a best case scenario. Like I said, I've never been disappointed, like at least not overly disappointed by a product that 343 has made. I loved Halo 4. I loved the mechanics in Halo 5, loved the visuals. Everything was on point. The ending was disappointing in Halo 5, but overall I'd say it was a great package, right? So still, I haven't
Right.
seen like some colossal failure. Like I know some people, they'll say like, oh, 343 spectacularly failed or was it complete. It's not like that at all, because if that was the case, it would not have been as successful as that, or it would not have been received so well, right? So my point is, we just gotta wait and see what's gonna happen when they go ahead and show us the gameplay, right? They've promised that now, which is a good thing, and that's something to be excited about, right? I hope that in the next 5 days, whenever Gamescom comes around, we get to see like a really cool campaign, and everybody's just like, hey, the campaign looks great. It's like a big redemption, like.
You cut out, man. You cut out.
Hey, you know what? He said something though.
Narrate a little bit more and say, yeah.
Oh shit! You got cut off, bro. You got cut off for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
cut
really?
off for a good minute. Yeah.
All right.
I thought
Well,
you made a great
just to
point,
summarize, I was saying that hopefully they show something good in a few days. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you, because let's be honest, if on Tuesday they come out there, they show a great campaign, like gameplay slice or just some gameplay from the campaign in general, and it looks great, they announce a release date, I guarantee all of this shit that people talking right now will be thrown right out the window.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
man,
be the
looks
first
great.
one to say it.
Because think about last year, the whole Craig thing and how bad Halo had looked. Bro, everybody shut up after E3 2021. When they saw that incredible trailer to the multiplayer, they saw that cutscene from the campaign. It looked amazing. I haven't heard anything about Craig since. I haven't seen one Craig meme or nothing since E3 2021. So like I said, Tuesday, if they come out, show some campaign footage, announce a release date, and I think people just going to shut up about it, because I don't think this is that big of a deal to where people want to continue to talk about it. This is going to be dead, I think, by Monday.
I completely agree with that. I see so many people still giving 343 shit for what they did in 2020, but when you look at 2021, that cutscene, that real-time gameplay that they showed us, that little part of the story was amazing. It's like the dialogue, everything seems so much more. I don't know. It was really good storytelling, right? So I don't think that people need to be as concerned when you see something like that, because they're really focusing on this. And as long as they deliver the campaign like they showed us at E3, and they show us like a really nice mission or something, I think that people are not going to have as many concerns. Maybe that'll really soften the blow.
Agreed.
So
trying to find that trailer you were talking about.
one of the last things they actually mentioned too, that they still haven't pinpoint a release date. Do you think they still are trying to dodge COD and Call and Battlefield, or just they're having their own troubles?
No, I think they're trying to dodge it, because what Phil said it's not like a month's thing, it's a week's thing. They're trying to get
right.
I think they were just waiting for COD to see when they're going to release. Because Battlefield already had their date set in stone, was October 20 something, I believe. So they're either going to drop before Battlefield or after Call of Duty, in my opinion. A lot of people were saying maybe November 23rd, the week of Thanksgiving. I don't know. I obviously don't know when they're going to drop it, but I believe COD was the game that they were waiting. They just want to wait to see, because they didn't know. All the Activision stuff that kind of happened this year. So, and like not just this year, but like the last month, it really has gotten really crazy as far as the Activision Blizzard stuff. But people still going to support Call of Duty. Some people might not even know about that, like the casuals. And we know COD is a casual type of game. I know people that only play Call of Duty and Madden. Every year, that's only 2 games they play. So Call of Duty is still going to sell, and Xbox knows that. And they just want to make sure that they get a little space between those games, because they have an advantage over those 2 other games. The multiplayer is free to play. I know COD has Warzone,
yes.
but like team deathmatch stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta agree with you there, man.
So can Halo survive COD and Battlefield at the same time?
So
do you think they have the brand power to do it?
There's one thing that people don't take into account, which is COD releases every year, right? And it's always going to be super successful. It's going to be a big deal. Battlefield releases every couple of years or every 3 years. I'm not sure what their cycle has been like recently, but it's not like it's not as frequent as Halo has been, right? The last Halo that we had was, as a lot of people point out, like 6 years ago, right? So there's like a hunger for it now. Plus, you've got all of these new Xbox Series X owners and a lot of the PC owners that are getting a new Halo day one on PC after a long time. So there's I'd say it still has a really good chance, but they are going to need to make a gap. They waited a long time to wait for that COD announcement. Now COD's out in the wild. They know when it's going to be. So I don't think it'll launch anywhere within a few days of Call of Duty, but I think it'll still be super successful, and I don't think it's equivalent. Like it's not like you get a new Halo every year, right?
Right, but here, my thing is November. If you see November's release dates of every game, November is packed with every genre. We got Forza's there now. We got Call of Duty, Battlefield. We have Halo. We have Skyrim now releasing that day. We have GTA 5 releasing that. There's a whole bunch of games. And I know Halo anniversary is around November, but do you think Halo actually needs to be in November, or could it wait until December, even a Christmas release? Who knows? Does it need to be in November?
Yeah, I think December would be a good time to launch, because I don't think they need to make the mistake of launching their games in such a crowded window. But they might just go nostalgic and say, you know what, we want to do the anniversary. I don't know if that would be the smartest thing to do, but I think it would be really hard to tell, man. But December would be a lot better, because there's a lot of games. There's so many games coming out this year. There's like all these games people are going to be paying for, and not everybody can go and buy $60 games in a month. It's a lot for a lot of people.
They got to the fucking Game Pass.
Right.
Yeah, for Game Pass. But now that
Game
I'm thinking
Pass-
about it, I really don't think November is actually one viable and two necessary. I think December could be a great release date for Halo. Like making it a holiday Christmas release. That's what I think. And it gives them more time to
they
finish the
don't
game.
have any other big release at that time anyway, right? Like they don't have a big December announce.
No, there's nothing
they-
in December. Nobody's fighting for December, which is weird. Everybody's fighting for November.
Nobody ever really drops in December. That's usually like the
The only
dry
biggest
month.
the only thing you always see in December, it's related to Star Wars. Every movie of Star Wars is around December, Christmas, right? So why not put a big AAA game on December? I know it's Christmas, but a lot of people are still buying shit. So I think and I hope that they go away from November and go to December. I think December is the better date.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There's so many questions about this game, man. There's so many people. Halo is like, it's a hotly discussed topic right now. Like everybody's talking about it, man. It's crazy.
So
It's a hot topic, man.
Halo still has power, man. Halo, even though that fucking stupid poll they did with GameSpot, like who's gonna win, Kratos or fucking Master Chief? I'm like, come on, man. Why would you?
Well,
do that
I mean,
stuff?
it's GameSpot. It's like Pony Haven.
GameSpot is the worst gaming site in the world. Like I remember back in 2015, they were doing Xbox game reviews and they didn't know how to turn on or how to operate an Xbox. Like this is they basically didn't want to own an Xbox. They had one unit for the whole office. This is for their main GameSpot headquarters, right? And constantly just hit pieces. Like we used to have journalists like Eddie McCutch and Tamor Hussein. Like they'd just be hitting Xbox every time, and it was a bad time to be an Xbox fan, man. So if Game Pass does, not Game Pass, GameSpot does something crazy like that, it shouldn't surprise you. It's just it's the name of the game for them, you know.
All right.
Absolutely.
So, hey Devin, so are we good? I mean, it's an hour. We're talking about Halo. It's overblown. Whatever. You want to keep on going, or I think it's short and sweet. We can cut it out right now.
I think we probably hit all cylinders, man. Like we talked about each part of it, how we feel about it. We see how some of the chat feels about it.
I see G's whiz like not December, please, not December. Look, I feel you, dog. I feel you. It's been 6 years, and I really fucking love Halo. But at the same time, do you want it to die like Titanfall?
Joey, I think about it this way, man. COD announced for November 5th. I'm thinking they're pushing for an anniversary date now, man. I think it'll be on the anniversary date.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking more the December date. I'm not saying it has to be fucking Christmas, but it could be like December 5th, something maybe like that.
I think it would be either the anniversary date, Black Friday, or Thanksgiving.
All right.
Thanksgiving would be wild.
That was my initial bet. My initial bet was Thanksgiving, right?
Because remember that picture? That picture that they dropped? Xbox had Thanksgiving.
Blazkowicz and the guys from Machine Games, and they had like Bethesda and Halo, and it was like a Thanksgiving dinner. So we were all thinking like, shit, it's gonna be on Thanksgiving. But at the same time, you just go Google it and look out the releases of November. It's extremely packed. Like I don't know anybody who's gonna buy 5 to 6 games at $60 a pop without Game Pass. It's like, I'm not saying you don't have the money to do it, but at the same time, like Jesus Christ, there's a lot of games. And who has the time for it?
I mean, think about it though. Halo multiplayer is free, man. So like those battle passes and whatnot, those them MTXs, man. I think a lot of people are gonna play this Halo multiplayer, considering that it's free.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, I mean, you have to understand that whatever 343 does or Halo does, people will have extreme reactions to it. I mean, look what happened today. They're delaying 2 features, and I got pissed until I, calmed down a little bit and realized, maybe I'm overreacting about this. Halo has that effect on people, right? Halo is a big franchise that we love. Has been 20 years. Wait, we grew up with Halo. So whatever Halo does, it will kind of affect us in some way. I just want them to do great. I want Halo to be as awesome as it can be, and hopefully everything turns out well. And 343, please don't delay the game. I think it's not a good thing to delay the game.
Don't delay the game at
Well,
all. We
how
can
do you
wait
know?
for the
How do
co-op.
you know if it's going to be delayed when there's no release date?
Oh, you fuck. Okay.
Don't start that wormhole. All right, guys. Yeah, it's not Holiday 2021. It's Halo Day 2021. All right, and we said everything we needed to say. So, yeah, have a good rest of your evening.
And fuck the ponies, man. I'm joking. Hey,
No,
everybody,
he's
have a
not
good
joking.
evening.
Fuck
Halo.
the ponies.
Yeah, Halo is Halo, man. So it's gonna be
And-
right there. And you know,
And
everyone
any final thoughts from you guys?
we're good. I think we're good. I think I had everything to say.
You know, I feel like people shouldn't take the ponies that seriously, man. They're gonna be the same regardless of whether Halo was on top of, you know, its game or whether there's like certain issues. They're always gonna have things to say, right? So I just feel like a lot of people take them way too seriously. While what we should be doing is just, you know, roasting people and laughing at how stupid sometimes they can be.
No, that's the word. That's the funny part, because I normally am like that. But once you touch once you touch Halo, ask Devin, man. I could be fine all day. You just mentioned fucking
Yeah,
Halo,
yeah.
and I get pissed. Like, it's insane what Halo does to me. It's stupid. So anyway, I just love that game so much, man. I really do. That's all I
I think we all do. Most of us do, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm still psyched. Like, even after everything, I'm like so super hyped. You know, whenever I think about
Still,
going through
right?
this open, like open world, semi-open world area to go do like main quests, side quests, and new weapons, the grapple hook. I heard the thrusters are gonna be in the game still. Like, I'm super excited about that, man. Like, I just want to explore a bigger,
Really?
better Halo, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're gonna get. You know?
Yeah, man. Good shit. I think we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, right?
Yeah, we should be good. We're good, man.
Let me breathe. We're
The
gonna be
campaign's
be
gonna
fine.
be amazing. The
Anyway,
multiplayer is already fun, man. You know
Anyway,
what I mean?
Devin.
We should be good.
You need an outro, everybody. Thank
I
you
need
for
an
being here. I mean, we're not TTS, obviously. We're not WBG. We're still part of that crew. But thank you guys for listening to us, even though
Yeah.
our opinions could be trash. I'm coming from I'm not talking about, well, you know, I'm passionate about Halo. So thanks, guys, for being here. And you need an outro, Evan. You need a fucking outro.
I'll just play this one, man. See, well, we're not WBG though. I mean,
Not yet.
I mean, we are part of that, but you know. All right, guys.
All right, thanks.